Hello friends, welcome back to Civil Engineering Mastery. Today we are going to discuss an interesting topic which was suggested by you. So I had created a post in our channel. So this was the topic which got more votes from you all. So let's discuss today design of column axial load with biaxial bending moment. First let's see what is biaxial bending moment. I hope you all know about what is concentric load and what is eccentric load. So let me tell you once again, if the load is acting on the center of gravity of the column, CG of the column, then that load is called concentric load, and if the load is acting away from the CG of the column, then it is called eccentric load. Okay, so in biaxial bending moment, we have eccentric loads acting eccentrically on both the axes. That means like in x-axis as well as in the y-axis. So columns are subjected to bending moment in addition to axial load. So due to this eccentric load, we get bending moment in addition to axial load. So in biaxial bending moment, moments will develop in both axes of the member because here we have eccentricity in both directions. So in this case, bending takes place in both axes of the column. So we get moment in x-axis as well as in y-axis. There are three cases in column. The first one is axial load, the second one is axial load with uniaxial bending, and the third one is axial load with biaxial bending. So in first case, the load will be acting on the centroid of the column. That means concentric load. So there will not be any moment. Second case, the load will not be acting at the centroid of the column. So we get eccentricity in any one axis of the column, either in the major axis or in the minor axis of the column. So due to this eccentricity, we get moment in any one axis of the column. Third case, we get eccentricities in both axes. The load will not be acting on the centroid of the column, and we get eccentricities in both axes. So we get moment in both axes of the column. So if we wanted to know more details about these three cases, I had already posted one video. So that link I'll give in the description box. You can check that link. Next, let's see which column we need to design as a biaxial design for biaxial bending moment. So basically, if you take a column layout, if it is a uniform layout, then we get all the uh, uh, three cases like axially loaded column will be there, and column with uniaxial bending moment also we get, and column with biaxial bending moment also will be there. But basically we get the column layout of irregular layout, right? So the column will not be same. That means like the spans will not be same in all the column layout. So let's see where we need to design biaxial bending moment. Usually corner columns, that means like where the beams frame into the corner column in two perpendicular direction. That means corner column. You can see here, this is the corner column. So here the beams are framed into two perpendicular directions. Frame into the column in two perpendicular directions. Beams are frames into the column in two perpendicular directions. So this column we need to design for biaxial bending moment. So all the corner columns we need to design for biaxial bending moment. Similarly, interior column also we need to design for biaxial bending moment if the column layout is irregular. So here the column layout is regular, so we don't get interior column. We don't need to design interior columns for biaxial bending moment. And if the column layout is irregular, then we need to design the interior columns for biaxial bending moment. Let me show you the irregular column layout. Here I have the ground floor roof framing plan, so which is having irregular column layout. That means like the spans are irregular, and here if you see this corner column we need to design for biaxial bending moment. Also, this interior column we need to design for biaxial bending moment because it is connected, the beams are framed in all the three directions of the column. Next, let's see the formulas as per SP16. Exact design of member subjected to axial load with biaxial bending moment is extremely laborious. So, the code permits the following equation, which is mu x by mu x1 the whole power alpha n plus mu y by mu y1 the whole power alpha n, which is equal to 1. So this is the condition which we need to check. So this value should always be equal to 1 or should be less than 1. So then if it satisfies this condition, whatever we have designed is correct. So the column design with axial load with biaxial bending moment is correct. Otherwise we need to redo the design, like we need to assume the reinforcement percentage again, and then we need to redo the design. Here mu x and mu y are the moment about x and y axis. As I told you before, here we have the load which is acting at some distance away from x-axis as well as y-axis. So due to this we get moment in x-axis as well as y-axis. So those moments are mu x and mu y. And mu x1 and mu y1 are maximum uniaxial moment capacities with an axial load Pu bending about x and y axis. Here alpha n is an exponent. So we have separate formula to calculate this alpha n. So that let me show you in SP16. Here in SP16, alpha n is an exponent whose value depends on Pu by Puz. So for that we have one table. So here Puz should be calculated from this formula 0.45 FCK AC plus 0.75 Fy AS. So according to this we have few values. So for intermediate value we need to linear interpolate and then get the exact value. Next, let's see the design step as per SP16. So we have totally 10 steps. First one is reinforcement percentage. So we need to assume the reinforcement percentage initially and then start doing the calculation. So once it is not satisfying the formula or permissible value, then we have to reassume the reinforcement percentage and then we have to continue the calculation. Second step is uniaxial moment capacity of the section about x-axis. Third one is uniaxial moment capacity of the section about y-y axis. And fourth one is calculation of PUZ. Fifth one is PU by PUZ. Sixth one is MUX by MUX1. Here we know the value of MUX, that is the moment, bending moment about x-axis. So that we take it from StatPro. Let me show you how to take that value from StatPro. And also we know the Pu value. Pu is load, factored load, and MUY1, MUY is also a factored moment which is acting on along the y-axis, and MUY1 we need to calculate. And eighth step is permissible value of MUX by MUX1. So for this MUX by MUX1 we need to find out the permissible value. So this should be greater than the value whichever we had calculated. So then whatever the reinforcement percentage we have assumed is okay. If the value, permissible value, is less than this MUX by MUX1, then we need to reassume the reinforcement percentage and then again we need to redo all the calculations. Ninth step is calculation of main reinforcement, and 10th one is I have designed the same layout in StatPro. So let's take this corner column and then get the moment and load value from the StatPro software. And then let's design the same for axial load with biaxial bending. So this was the column layout. This was the column details. If you want, let me show you the whole thing. Let's go to modeling mode and let me switch off this one. Beam orientation, apply, okay. So this is the layout like I had designed for G plus 1 plus terrace. So now we are going to take this column, this corner column. So go to geometry, not geometry, select beams parallel to Y. So here we are taking only columns, and then let's go to post processing mode. So let's get the section outline. So we have the columns here. So let's consider this column and then take out the details like whatever the uh, moment and load we need, right, for designing the column, so that we can take it from here. So go to beam graph. So select this one, and then so here this window will appear. So here we need to take both directions, bending YY and bending ZZ. Let's select beam orientation to know the axis. So here red color indicates the Z direction and green color indicates the Y direction. Okay. So this column size I took as 225 by 375. That means 9" by 15" column. So this column, let's check the loads. Let's take out the load. So here if you see from bottom, so it will be keep changing the load, because the load will be more at the bottom and less at the top. So here we have 402. So this is factored load. You can see the load case here is 1.5 times dead load plus live load. Okay. So this is the factored load. So we need to take out the moments now. So moment, if you see here in the bottom floor, we have little less, and it keeps increasing when it goes on the upper floors. So let's take the maximum moment and maximum load. So in this column the maximum load is 402 and maximum moment. So if you take on the top floor, on the z axis is 31 kilonewton meter, and y axis is 19 kilonewton meter. So this value will consider and then design the column for biaxial bending moment. Next, let's see the required data for designing the column. So we have the size of the column is 225 by 375 mm, and grade of concrete is M25, grade of steel is Fe 500, factored load is 402 kilonewton, factored moment parallel to larger dimension is 31 kilonewton meter. So this we took it from the StatFlow software. So that is the moment parallel to larger dimension. So here larger dimension is 375, and parallel to larger dimension moment is 31 kilonewton meter, and factored moment parallel to shorter dimension, so that one is this green color, that is 19 kilonewton meter. So these are all the required data to design the column with axial load and biaxial bending moment. Let's continue the calculation in the next part. So friends, I hope you all like this video. Please do comment in the comment box. Your comments are always welcome. And don't forget to subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you for watching.